Hello and welcome back to Champions and Beyond. In this video we are going back to Precon Corner, and as I promised we are taking She-Hulk with the third of the aggression pre-constructed decks that are recommended within the core set against the final villain of the core set, and that is Ultron with his recommended modular set of Under Attack. So let's get down to the table for the game and see how we get on. Right, so the last part of setup, Ultron will take our top card of our deck and turn it into an Ultron drone. We can then draw up. Right, we're going to get rid of legal practice, we're going to get rid of uppercut, might keep those two, we'll get rid of tack team, and I think we'll get rid of relentless assault for now. Ooh, very nice card for early on. But can I afford it? That's another question. I don't think I'm going to be able to. No, I don't think we're going to be able to first turn. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to flip up. We're going to use Do You Even Lift and take out the Ultron drone. One of our doubles. We are going to spend 2 resources to play combat training. Sorry, we'll spend 3 resources to play helicarrier. Use the helicarrier. And 1 to play combat training. We are going to punch for 4. Taking Ultron down to 13. We're going to ready back up. And we're going to draw up. So we're going to add 1 threat onto the main scheme. Ultron is going to attack. We're going to take the first hit, so he's going to attack for 2, 3, 4, 5. Down to 10. Big hit. He obviously didn't like being punched in the face. We then put the top card of our deck face down as a drone, because I don't want to quite add the threat just yet. Our bad card is lovely Droid Factory, so we're going to get another drone, and that's going to have 6 threat. So I would like to have kept the main scheme for a little bit longer, but I don't know how we're going to get rid of that. So we're going to spend a double and helicarrier to put in Hellcat. Hellcat will thwart for 2 off of Droid Factory. She-Hulk is going to punch one of the drones. think regardless what we do, we are losing the main scheme. So we are going to flip down to get the bigger hand size. Now I might keep Boundless Rage, but we're going to draw up. We ready back up. Hellcat should have taken a damage. And that is everything. So we would now add 2 threat on, but we are going to object to one of that threat. Ultron is going to scheme for 1. Just for 1, which will pop the main scheme. We are going to add 1 onto that for the drone. 2 onto that because that reveals another drone. So both of those scheme. We then get our bad card. Concussive Blast. So we take a damage. And Hellcat takes a damage. And it's back to us. So first thing, we're going to flip up. We are going to use Do You Even Lift to get rid of the first drone. We are going to spend 3 to bring in Mockingbird. Mockingbird will stun Ultron. She will then punch to take out this drone. Taking consequential damage, not 3, taking 1. We are going to use the helicarrier to first aid Hellcat. She will then thwart for 2 off of the side scheme. She-Hulk will punch for 4. Bring Ultron down to 9. Now I'm going to discard that one. We're going to draw back up 4. And ready. We're going to add 2 threat on, so he's already up to 4. He would attack, but he is stunned. We do place a drone because of this side scheme, and that will attack us for 1. Not the side scheme, sorry, the main scheme. So I didn't want to quite lose that so early. That side scheme really messed us up. So we get our bad card, and it's a caught off guard, which will lose us our combat training. Could have been a lot worse. So we're back to us. We're going to first of all Mockingbird to knock out the drone. We are going to Hellcat to clear the side scheme. We're then going to use her action to bounce her back to our hand. We're going to spend 3 to bring Hellcat back. And she's going to thwart for 2 again. Bringing the main back down to 2. We are going to punch for 3. Bring Ultron down to 6. We're going to use Helicarrier to 1-2 punch to ready back up. And I think we are going to remove a single threat before we flip down. It's ready back up. Now, we're going to add 1 threat on. We finally got rid of that acceleration icon. Ultron is going to scheme for 1. Can we spend the fist resource? We can. So he only schemes for 1, so we go up to 3 on the main. After we added 1, we should have placed a drone, but then object to the drone. Since I'm forgetting all of her mechanics. So we have a drone out because of the main scheme, but she stopped it from scheming. Fantastic. Now, we're going to get our bad card. What's the schemy attachment? So it's got +1 thwart, and we'll add threat to side schemes if he schemes. Very schemy. So might keep 1. No, we want to keep Tigra out of everything. So we're going to spend 3 cards to and the Helicarrier to bring in Nick. Now Nick is going to draw us 3 cards. Mockingbird is going to knock out the drone. And in the process knock herself out. We are going to flip up. We're going to do you even lift to deal 2 damage, taking him down to 4. We are going to exhaust and spend our genius to get rid of this attachment. We don't want to add in more threat than he has to. We are going to use Hellcat to thwart 2 off the main. We're then going to bounce her back to our hand, and we're going to spend 3 cards to bring her back, thwarting off the rest of the threat and taking 1 damage. So we're back down to nothing. Nick is going to punch for 2. Taking Ultron down to 2. Right, now we're going to deck out. So, already through our first deck pass. I'll say it again, that side scheme really slowed us down. To put a lot of resources into getting rid of that. I would like to have been at least on stage 2, but it is what it is. We get a bad card. And not a very useful hand card. So we're going to add 1 threat onto the main scheme. Ultron is going to attack. Oh, I didn't ready up, but Nick is going to block. We will ready all of those. Nick is going to block. Before we forget again, the main scheme will add a drone. So Nick blocks. The attack comes in for 2 and only 2. But thank you, Mr. Fury. We salute your service. The drone will attack for 1. Down to 7. Now we have 2 bad cards. The first is Repair Sequence. He heals 2 damage because there is 1 drone. Back to 4. And the second one is the Advanced Ultron drone. So what we're going to do, we're going to attack for 1 with Hellcat onto the Advanced Ultron drone. And then attack with She-Hulk to knock out the Advanced Ultron drone. It has a when defeated, and it puts another drone minion out. So we do have 2 we still have to deal with. But we're going to play Chase Them Down and remove the threat. Now I think we're going to bounce Hellcat back to our hand. And spend 3 cards to put her back. She's going to immediately punch out the first Ultron drone. And we are going to flip down so that we get the bigger hand size. I think we can cope with everything else. Right, so first things first, we're going to add 1 threat onto the main scheme. We're going to object. Ultron is going to scheme for 1, 2, 3. We can cope with that. And the Ultron drone that should have been out from the main scheme, and the Ultron drone there will both scheme for 1. So we're up to 5. So we get a bad card. And of course it's an advance. He's going to scheme for 1. Just for 1, which doesn't pop it. Had to double check that for a second. Was slightly worried. And that's it. We go back to us. So first of all, Hellcat is going to remove 2. We are going to flip to hero and do you even lift to take out a drone. We are going to spend 2 resources, including a fist, to relentless assault to take out the other drone. And deal 4 damage, which takes Ultron into stage 2. He's going to come in with 22 health. Now we're going to spend a double to put in a superhuman strength. We are going to risk it. We're going to bounce Hellcat back to our hand. I didn't do the damage on her this turn either, so, but it doesn't matter. We've bounced her back. We're going to spend Hellcat and the helicarrier to put a second superhuman strength down. We're now swinging for 7. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Bringing him all the way down to 15. And stunning. Now under rules RRG 1.5, this one will trigger, so we'll stun and discard. And then when this one goes to trigger, he is already stunned, so I don't have to discard this one, and she'll keep her +2 strength for next turn. So we draw back up. We're going to add 1 threat on. So we're up to 5. Ultron's force. Oh, we add a drone. Before we forget about that. Ultron is stunned. The drone will attack us for 1. So we're down to 6. Which is a shame. We need to take 1 more point of damage. I don't know, but yeah, 1 more point of damage and we can win the game. So we get our bad card. And it's the vibranium armor. So completely forget about that. Doesn't matter if we take the extra point of damage. So we also don't have, I believe it's double fists. Yeah, double fists. So we don't have double fists. Typical. I think we'll keep hold of the Gamma Slam. We are going to discard 2 cards to put combat training in. We're going to swing for 6 onto Ultron. Bring him down to 9. This kicks in with its forced response and he gets tough. We are going to flip down. And, oh, sorry, yes, that he's stunned because of that one being got rid of, and he gets a tough. So that will end our turn. We are going to ready up and draw up. So first of all, we would add 1 threat on. We are going to object to that threat. we place a drone after stage 1. Ultron is going to scheme for 2, 3, 4, which takes up to 9. This Ultron drone takes up to 10. We lose the main scheme. And then the other Ultron drone is going to put 1 on the next scheme. Now we can't remove threat from that. It is a ticking clock, but I think we're okay unless he gets his other advance. And we get... that won't matter. We're going to put another drone into play. So we have 3 of them in front of us, but none of them have guards, so that's a good thing. Now, so we're not going to fully be able to clear up the board, but what we're going to do is we're going to flip. We're going to do even lift to remove the tough. We have currently taken 9 points of damage, so we will spend 4 resources to Gamma Slam for 9 damage, which will take out Ultron. We would then punch and 1-2 punch to ready to take out 2 of the Ultron drones. We still have a drone in play, but that doesn't matter. We just haven't managed to fully clear up the board. But there you go. Within the core set, She-Hulk, because she wants to flip, and because, as you saw with Ultron, we still did get onto the last scheme, you don't particularly want to flip within the core set because there isn't a lot of room, especially in solo, to be able to do it. She-Hulk, even with this pre-constructed deck that hasn't got a ton of thwarting because it is aggression, we managed to control Ultron well enough to take him out before he could destroy the world. So that's it for Precon Corner. That is it. All 3, as I said before, all 3 aggression decks are exactly the same that come recommended from the core set. And we've managed to take out all 3 villains with Precon aggression. For me, She-Hulk is the most fun of all the heroes out of the core set, out of the 5 heroes. Pure fun. She's not the strongest, but for pure fun factor, just keep flipping up, smacking somebody around. You know, you saw we did 7 damage, followed by a 5 damage, followed by a 9 damage Gamma Slam. No, it was a 7, then a 6 because we got the combat training into play. Then the 9 damage Gamma Slam. Just her damage output is insane. Thank you very much for watching. If you like my content, please like the video and subscribe. It helps out the channel. If you would like to get into contact with me, leave a comment down below on anything you saw. And until next time, happy gaming.